Alright everyone, welcome back to the show. It's been a while since I've done anything with the Briggs build, so I decided today is going to be the day that we get started on bracing up the frame. A few of you guys mentioned that in the comments that you want to see some more bracing to make the frame more stable, so that's what we're going to do. I'm going to cut over to the bike and then show you my plan here. Okay, so here's our bike just as I left it after we did the suspension seat over there. So now, when we're talking about bracing, I had some comments about bracing up this part of the frame here because there's a lot of welds and going to be a lot of torque with the angle that I'm running on the front here. So I'm taking that feedback into consideration and I am going to block this off with steel plate because as cool as that open frame looks, from here to here, it actually serves no purpose. And there's nothing that I can foresee mounting there. So my plan here is to just kind of mark on this cardboard here some lines and then kind of test fit it and see that I like the clearance to the motor and everything. And then I'm just going to cut that out and then trace it on some metal and cut the metal out and then weld it in. So yeah, that's going to be the first step of bracing up this frame. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. I still have room to move the engine forward and backwards if I need to, and I'm not just wasting tons of weight in metal. So I think that's where I'm going to cut it. So yeah, I'm just going to bring that over here and then start cutting it out with the utility blade on this. So yeah, I'll get back to you once I've got it cut out and test fit. Alright, then we got our shape cut out here. And now we get to see how well this fits in. And just keep trimming until our cardboard aided design here lines up to something. And we're pretty close already. It looks like I have a little bit to trim up top, but other than that, I think we're good. Alright, as you can see, we have our piece mocked up and in place here. And that's just wedged in for the time being. Just to kind of see what it'll look like. And yeah, I think I'm okay with that. That's not bad. Kind of gives it a little more classic look on this side. I know some of the older cruisers have kind of a swoop up from here to here. I like this though. This is good because the swoop up would interfere with the head, and then this should give more stability. So it's cool. It's kind of like the early bikes from like I don't know 120 years ago. They kind of had that kind of thing going on. Maybe for the same reason. Maybe for bracing. Yeah, so I'm just going to go ahead and trace that onto a flat piece of scrap metal and cut it out. Alright, so I got that traced out. And there's our lines. This one up top is going to be a little tricky with the angle grinder and a cutting wheel. Might have to use a jigsaw, but that's going to be a little difficult because this is doesn't really show up much on camera, but I measured it and it's like 1.6 to 1.8 millimeters thick, somewhere in there. So this is pretty heavy for a jigsaw, or at least a dull jigsaw blade that I have. So yeah, I'm going to do as much as I can with the angle grinder, and if I have to use the jigsaw, I guess I'll use it. So yeah, that angle grinder actually worked pretty well on the corners. I got that one done, and then this one. Just gotta take it slow and take many passes, and then it'll go through it and it'll cut a corner, as you can see. So yeah, I'm gonna clean up the edges of this, sand it down a little bit with the angle grinder sanding wheel, I think, and then tack weld this in place. Okay, so I actually ended up using the wire brush attachment, and that worked pretty well. So I'm just having a problem here with this fitting perfectly against the welds. So I'm going to grind these welds down a little bit, just on the bottom, and then hopefully I can get this to fit a little more closely without cutting it down, and then weld it in place. Alright, so I got this fitting quite nicely now. Did have to grind a few welds and file this one up here where the grinder didn't fit. But yeah, it's looking pretty dang good. So I'm just going to remove the paint where I need to weld, and then yeah, pretty much ready to weld. Alright guys, welcome back. I just finished up welding up the front bracket and it's looking pretty sick, so I'll switch around the camera and show you. Okay, so here we go. That is our new bracket. I welded up both sides. It is super strong. That actually did add a lot of rigidity to the bike. Now I'm to the point where I need to decide how much more metal I want to add to the overall bike, because it is getting pretty heavy. So yeah, I gotta do some more thinking. Maybe I'll come back a different day and add some more metal, but for now, yeah, that's looking pretty dang good, and it added a lot of rigidity to the front of that bike. Alright guys, welcome back. It has been about a week since I recorded the first part of that video, and I've been thinking about the bike, and it kind of feels like kind of front to back, kind of fishtails a little bit. Not like drifts, but like the frame flops side to side, it seems. So I think I'm going to put some supports on the back part of the seat post area and try to mitigate some of that to make the frame more rigid in the middle. So I'm going to flip the camera around and show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. If you look at the bike from the top down, it feels as though there is movement between the back tire and the front tire, like kind of under your butt, like the frame is kind of like doing this ever so slightly. And this isn't after I've braced it up front. This is beforehand, before the engine was on and when I rode it in the garage here with no pedals. But I know that flimsiness is still there. So what I'm planning on doing is making another plate similar to this one, but smaller, and putting it from here to here, and then that will also provide structural rigidity for this seat post that I essentially moved back from here to here, because now this is just a hinge and all the weight's actually applied here, which isn't what the frame's designed for. So if I can tie that in to the original seat post, that'd be good. And then also, if I zoom in here, you'll see that that tube is just kind of butted onto the seat post. Not even butted, just kind of hanging on the side. For this to be really secure, this pipe would have had to have been welded on the back of this tube or at an angle. So this has a lot of potential rotation that could happen there. So I should be able to get rid of some of that by bracing up with a triangle support from here to here to here. And then, since it appears we have room, I might add one from here to here as well, but I might do that one in tube. I'm not sure yet. I'm still making up my mind. But for now, we're going to add a couple of triangles right here. So I'm just going to repeat the same process that I did for the front part of the bike. All right, and there you have it. We now have two brackets that are running from the rear to the real seat post, which evenly distributes that weight back to where it belongs. So one on this side. Okay, one on that side as well. All right, that's looking good. I think I'm going to unstrap it from the bench here and just take it for a little spin. It's raining outside right now. Take it for a little spin in the open garage stall and see if it feels better and more stable. Ooh, all right. These handlebars are definitely going to take some getting used to. The new seating position is, I don't know if it's as comfortable. Oh, I gotta tighten those bars up. Alright, I'm gonna tighten these bars up and we're gonna try that again. Whew, alright. Hopefully I'm in frame for you guys. I found the limits of that Allen fastener, so that is going to get replaced with probably a hex head very soon. But handlebars are tight. The seat feels pretty good. It's a little squeaky, but that shock always was on this bike, or the bike that came from anyway. But yeah, the fact that the weight's really low is really helpful. It's just the steering fork angle kind of plays with the geometry of the bike a little bit, which was to be expected. Man, this thing's big. Alright, let's see if I can get some speed here. Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, I think this is doable. The frame feels sturdy. The weight is down low and manageable. The riding position is relatively comfortable. Got an air filter by my knee, so I'll have to watch out for that when I do foot placement stuff, but yeah. Whoa! It's working. Alright guys, that's it for today's episode. Thanks for watching. I had a lot of fun. Even if I only rode the bike inside the garage for a few minutes, it was fun to actually get on two wheels again and to see my creation back here actually move and to ride it to some extent. So I really enjoyed filming this. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it. There's going to be some more Briggs content here in the future. If you want to see more, make sure you subscribe. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and hit that notification bell. And I'll see you guys next time.